Hi, guys. Hello to everyone, to our viewers, to our audience, and for our lovely guests. So, as always, who are we? You know me, I'm Era, and you know Mario. But who do we have for today's episode? Agnieszka Marecka, founder and co-founder of HANDIEU. And before we dive into the details, let's get to you a little bit more. So, hi and welcome. It's very good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ira and Mario. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm very excited to what conclusions we will come today, simply because I'm not sure which directions we will end up in the end. So thank you very much for having me, and thank you all the guests for coming, my dear friends for supporting me too on the other side.
Cool. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. Yes, Agnieszka is the founder and CEO of HANDIEU, which is a platform for handcrafts. And yes, we'd love to hear for the beginning, for starters, for us, and obviously more for the audience. If you could tell us a little bit more, okay, how do you start out and end up in the blockchain space with this, handcrafted pieces and blockchain? That's quite interesting.
Sure. So maybe I would start from the early beginning before opening the company, because previously I was working for different corporates, so it was a big change for me. I decided to stop my career for some time and take care of myself, of my health first. And when I was unemployed, I got pregnant, and it totally changed my plans to go back to normal work. Actually, I saw that I will have quite a big gap in my CV. So the only option I saw that can work for me is to open a company. And so I was going through many ideas, business plans. The problem I had was that I didn't really feel like, what is my passion really? Because I would like to do something that I'm passionate about, and not only for money, to earn something. And so I also see like how important it is to do something out of passion. Where is this passion?
Absolutely. I think many can probably relate, right? And if you ask a couple of founders, they will tell you a similar story. It's like, okay, I have some passion and I want to put energy into that instead of working in a corporate. It's very different. So yes, very interesting. So then what happened?
So then by accident, actually, I realized this market gap, that when I was looking for presents for my family, simply, I wanted to give them something more personal, something handmade, which I thought that has more meaning than anything that I would buy in a normal shop. And they didn't really want any presents, because they obviously have everything, and no, don't spend money and so on. And I want to give you something from my heart. I felt like handcrafts is this perfect gift because it's made with hands, with this energy, with heart. And when I was Googling, I started to, I found that there is only one global marketplace there. There are some national ones, but there was nothing really for Europe. And I thought that can be a great direction. However, I didn't want to do it simply as a shop, but it reminded me also about the times when my mother was a handcrafter. She was sewing at home when we were children. I really appreciate that she chose this direction simply to take care of us. But she didn't have the background of business, so it didn't work out. So I thought that I can connect it and also bring maybe education, more support to these people who may not necessarily know how to do it efficiently. So it kind of brought me to the place where I started to form like a bigger concept out of it. I wanted to make it really for the community, and with the community, because I think that this is the biggest value here.
It's a great topic also, it's a great topic to especially involve communities because they're passionate about around a certain kind of arts or crafts. For example, I know pottery. I know there's like a big, a strong community around it. So yeah, you have a great topic for building smaller ecosystems and communities around it.
I mean, if you look at this global marketplace, it's built on the community actually, and for me, it felt unfair that they are actually like boosting the whole company, and they don't benefit as much as they could. So I wanted to introduce a bit different mindsets here.
Understood.
And if you ask me how I connected with blockchain, yeah, this was the second part of your question. It was very hard to introduce my concept to people, what I want to do. And then I realized, oh my God, there is blockchain, there are DAOs, and this is something that I want to do. So yeah, I simply went into this direction.
Can we also say that then what inspired you as a, with the connecting with blockchain? Because you mentioned the word actually community, right? So maybe you can a little bit elaborate on that. What was the first inspiration for you to connect with traditionals, with the blockchain? How did it all start?
I actually was privately already interested in this market. And once I was listening to some live video on YouTube of some guys that wanted to tokenize everything and crazy stories there. Yeah, actually, you can tokenize everything. And I was at that point that, I was struggling a lot how to promote it differently and how to explain it better way. I'm like, gosh, this is the solution there, just in front of my face. And just have to connect it. However, I still have a huge market adaptation ahead, but the concept is there, and it's just about bringing this puzzles together now and making come true.
Yeah, that's definitely that's a huge world, of course, like emerging together, and as you said, like it's a lot of things out there as well. So like actually, how can we say that you're going to implement the new solutions? Like the market seems very like traditional and not easy to adapt to new technologies, but we a little bit mentioned about this actually. But do you see any topics there, any niche bullet points?
Yes, I have a plan for it. However, I know that we will have to adapt along the way. It also depends how the whole market is going through the market adaptation. For the moment, we are working with some smaller group of artisans, introducing them in this whole new sphere. And it's not only about blockchain, there are so many other solutions that are going to be complementary to this project. So it will be about metaverse to probably some AI to improve the experience, some tokenomics, yes, NFTs. And then when you connect it all together, we need to do it step by step, introducing them. I want them to feel confident and that they understand the market, the solutions that we are introducing, because for the moment, many of them, for many of them, the starting point was blockchain, that this whole industry is like a scam, and they're scams. That's the mainstream news that they got, and it was very hard to explain what is actually happening. That yes, there are some people who overuse it. Or use it for bad reasons, but it's not that the whole market is like this. It's not that the technology itself is bad. It only depends on how we are using it.
Yeah, it's actually can be one of your main benefits also to help this transition from, this is how you used to work to, okay, this is how it's working now, and helping with this transition. We actually, in one of our last crowdcasts, we had also Tim Brückmann, our UFOstart ambassador, who's also helping artists to go, more in a more narrow sense of artists, of visual artists, to come on and introduce the world of blockchain and the opportunities that come with it. But yes, this can be like a major value also for you to help make this transition, I imagine.
I mean, with Handcrafts, I have way more challenges. It's not digital, so you can imagine that. Along with this, we have the whole supply chain, and then on top of it is delivery. How to prove that this is not something copied. We have quite a lot issues regarding the rights, copyrights of pieces, some patterns. So it's very complex, actually. And here I really count on many other corporations with different projects that may have, or they're actually developing some other solutions that can really solve this problems. We are actually in contact with a couple of them, because it's like putting the puzzles together to make it work.
Yes, definitely. When you also mentioned, from the non-digital to digital, on how it actually works in handcrafts and, giving something from heart, as you mentioned in the beginning too, then it comes to my mind, will HANDIEU go out for a rebranding maybe?
That's correct, because for the moment, HANDIEU was focused on the European market, but I realized that the solutions that we are building, they can work for the globe, yes, to serve them. We can make different, let's say, levels of DAOs that there can be smaller communities that are European or national ones, but the solution itself can be developed for the globe. So definitely we're going for rebranding. Actually, recently we chose the name, and I think it also represents even better the values that I simply want to bring. It's gonna be Artemy. It comes from art and alchemy. We are quite spiritual in our team too, and I think it represents well the values and the heart that we are giving, the energy that it's in every piece there. So I'm happy to first time announce the new name during this crowdcast today.
Great name. Absolutely love it. It's it's instantly from when you hear it what more or less what it's about and in which direction it goes. That's I think well done, and looking forward to see how the brand grows around Artemy. Then yes, and you said it's kind of a global kind of approach, or an international global approach. At the same time, right now, we are experiencing the development and the explosion of the whole, let's say, alternate globe, aka the metaverse, right? So within this context, we have been talking before. You mentioned also metaverse and some maybe galleries and options to dive into that whole universe. So how does it work with handicrafts and metaverse? How do these topics go together or not go together? It's like a mystery.
It was so. I was approached by one person who simply offered me to co-work with them in this metaverse space. And first I was a bit confused. I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to metaverse to replace our relations, our real life, and it's also about the handcrafts that I told you. This is some particular energy and heart put in the piece. But I think it's very interesting for the presentation of these products online. It simply gives another experience to potential customers. So we are going to have like a gallery where you can go around and see these pieces in 3D. Actually, it can give you a better view of the product too. And so together with the physical product, you can have it also in metaverse. I hope that will bring kind of bridge between these two worlds. I know that they are fans of this physical world, that maybe they have some blockades to get into more digital world, and the reverse, some people who are too much maybe in digital world, in metaverse, and maybe let's bring them also something from the real world and like kind of connect them together.
Okay, so the how I can imagine it, I go there and there's like an item, for example, Era is in your communities and is working on, let's say, pottery, right, and has like a nice teapot, right, and is creating that and maybe selling it via your platform, but it shows up in the metaverse as one kind of thing, and then I can see, review it digitally, but then get back to the real world and buy it via your platform.
Yes, actually, you can check it in this metaverse gallery, and decide to buy it. You can have both. Maybe you are also arranging your house in metaverse, and you want some nice piece there. We are at the very early stage of this technology, so that's how it can evolve as well.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see, because it makes it more digital, but also more tangible, right? If I only have like the 2D image, it's also, if I go, for example, now on Etsy or somewhere, or also on your platform, I have a 2D image, which is also digital, but the metaverse kind of gives me, or let's say the 3D space, doesn't even have to be metaverse, gives me kind of a more texture to it and not less. So it's like
immediately
both.
Actually see the size. Maybe in texture would be harder, but at least you see the size, and it's presented there. You can go around it. It also depends on the type of crafts, of course. If you have, I don't know, painting art, but as well you can see the size.
Is there no limitations on that note? Regarding to arts, like would there be any limitations or anything we can imagine, like handcrafted, and it's just, like something I would be interested in. I will make sure that I'm keeping up with the date, with the, like when the project is going on. So that's why, like, would there be a limitation, or like everything, including handcrafts could be?
I don't like limitations. I think the limitations are only here. So no, there are no limitations. I think maybe in the first phase, we are focusing on something, but in the end, it's only the limitation of people's imagination, I suppose, and what people would like to see there.
What's really cool, I think, what could also work, especially in the handcraft kind of field, that, let's say, if I go and have a look at the teapot of Era, and I want to order one, and I can maybe, I can model it maybe even in the metaverse. So basically making up my own kind of teapot, how I would like to have it in her, so I make it bigger, smaller, color, whatever. And then it's more or less kind of like an individualized order with my name, or as a present or something, an individualized order that, can then go directly out to the creator out of the metaverse.
Definitely, that would be the possibility. Actually, similar projects are already there, maybe not with handcrafts, but that from digital you can turn something into physical. I'm going the other direction, which is simply harder, to take something from the physical world and introduce it to the digital world. But this is definitely an option, especially that we have these options already in the shops. Yes, you want some personalization, and that can be quite a cool experience, how you described it in the metaverse then.
Cool. Yes. So this is all about the communities in the end, as we said, and also as we spoke before, you're going through somewhat of a transition from a, let's say, more traditional kind of company structure to a decentralized structure, or a DAO, which is also obviously built on the same communities that are maybe around the different products, and that like a platform and everything. I mean, we know ourselves how it grows, as UFOstart is also like an aspiring DAO. So yeah, it's very interesting to hear from your point of view. How is this transition going? How do you do it? How do you fuel it? Where do you stand?
So as I said, we have market adaptation, and I think what is crucial to build a good DAO is the understanding of people, what it is about, because everything starts from the mindset. We need some switch in our mindsets from the centralized ones, where we have someone above to potentially also blame for things, people don't like to take responsibility. And once you are in DAO, you have to understand that you are part of this community and you are building it together. Yes. So you cannot blame everyone. Like, it's also your input in there and also your responsibility where it's going or not. If you have some idea, please bring it. Yes. You should be more solution oriented and not problem oriented there. So there is a huge wave, I think, in terms of every DAO to a big challenge, simply for everyone to really be able to jump into DAOs. So here I'm staying as a company, and I will introduce step by step what it is about. We start from some group discussions, like real meetings, explaining different things, but also involving them into discussion, what they think about it, trying to show them that it's also in their hands where this whole project is going. I may have some plan, I may have some idea more or less how it should look like, but then there are so many details that we are going to set together. So they feel that this is also their baby.
Yes.
It's not only mine.
It's a very good point that you make about this responsibility. Absolutely, I agree. And in the beginning, so I will see, I'll find it and watch it with fascination to see how in the beginning, like the DAOs grow out of convinced kind of contributors who are really, who want responsibility. I don't think that nobody wants responsibility, but there's like different ones, and the ones that want responsibility will gravitate towards a DAO. Maybe, but then there will be some kind of crucial point, like at what size, I don't know, where usually in bigger company structures, you have, I don't know how to say this in English. We have people who kick back, they have kind of a safe kind of job and income and do not want to take the responsibility. This will not be, hopefully not be possible in that way in a DAO structure. But yes, this will be interesting to see.
Second thing is also related to education. And so everybody has more or less the knowledge about what is going on. Because if you are going to vote for something, it's good that you understand what you are voting for.
Yeah.
And if we are talking about bigger DAOs and different DAOs, then we should also consider media to be decentralized, because for the moment it's totally centralized, and it also doesn't make sense to have maybe some I don't know, a country governance this way. So there are a couple of issues along the way that we would need to solve, but I truly believe that at least DAOs showed like this totally different angle. Maybe it's not that should be the direction, like going from one extreme to another, but like let's look for some balance in between, what to take from each of them and how to arrange it so actually it makes a reasonable balance
Construct.
concept.
Yeah, I agree, and yes, it will be, I think, very interesting for just this transparency topic, right? So you can only vote if there's kind of some level of transparency, and maybe there's different circles within a DAO and escalation levels and all of that. But there's definitely needs to be more transparency on many levels, which is alien to many traditional workers. And I think it just out of pure interest, I would imagine that a lot of them have a look at some kind of DAOs as they become more popular and the word goes out to see, okay, how does it look like from my safety position? How does it look like? How are other organizations run? And if they like what they see, then maybe transition in a couple of years. But
yeah, sure.
Do you think, as a last kind of question around the DAOs, what do you think when is kind of a realistic point in time when we see a German or international functioning legal DAO structure?
You're asking only about legal aspects, or
No, fully functioning. Like we figure out how it works, the dynamics between teams, between contributors, core teams, everything. Like something that is
first
successful
questions
anyway.
I would ask anybody, like, are we really going fully into decentralization? Because there are many types of DAOs that may not be like necessary considered as fully decentralized, I would say. And actually that's cool because they're actually looking for this middle point already. And is it going to be like really in every aspect of our lives? Are we going to have everywhere around DAOs? Because otherwise, like, imagine that you are a part of so many communities, and how much you can actually involve yourself in each of them. You would spend all day there. Someone actually told me that it won't be us, but there would be some AI doing it for us. But here I also have struggle, like how, like why, and I don't feel it's okay that AI would decide for me for some votings. And as I said, I'm not sure it's going totally in from one extreme to another. It's a good solution. I think we should look for the balance simply.
Mm-hmm. I think, of course, balance is the key for everything, right? I mean, since you also talked about the spirituality and balance, no matter what in the life, also workspace is important. Definitely. I want to bring or address a thing, of course, the fact that there's not so many women in this industry. I need to say it. And so, how do you find yourself in this market?
By the way, we're very proud that we now have we actively try to have a better representation of women here. So we're very happy that you came on, and you have such a strong team also around you.
Yeah, I think there are natural, let's say, disproportions for the moment, but it's really changing. There's so many women now coming in, and it's great to see it. Actually, when I was collecting now my team, it somehow apparently there were women joining, and here is Marta, and I invite also Maria over. Girls are supporting me here with my project. That's how it started actually, but then we decided also to go for more projects, and with our female power simply help also other projects that may not have this balance in their teams, and they need more women power in there. So
Lovely.
let me introduce you to Maria, who is like our strategist guru. She has a lot of experience in both corporates and startups. She built a lot of successful projects, also in the space of crypto.
Welcome.
And then we have Marta, who you know, guys. She's from UFOstart, so I met her because of Lars. Again, he's a great connector. And she's my rising star, I would say, and our connection to the new generation too. I see a lot of potential in her. So thank you, girls, for coming in, and I hope to to maybe discuss further.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It's great to be here, and I'm very excited about starting the project as well. I think what you've been saying, that there's a lack of women energy in the space, is very true. I've been working in finance industry for a while, a few years back, and it was very masculine and dominated by guys. So it's always good for balance. and for communication, especially to bring in women on board. So I'm very excited to share our energy and ideas with this crypto community, which I have been involved myself for years as well. So I'm very excited to join.
That's lovely.
Yeah, and I also wanted to thank for having me here, guys. I always support you in any kind of way, and I'm very happy that, we make connections and we just, like, for example, UFOstart just allows us to create something more and some next projects that are going to contribute to the blockchain industry. And regarding women in the blockchain industry, I'm thinking about those things a lot because I'm also helping this one project that is called meta-inclusivity. And there we also want to talk about the role of women in blockchain. And in my opinion, the blockchain industry, especially DAOs, are not going to grow without women, because we want DAOs because we want change. We want DAOs because we want inclusivity, we want more ideas. However, it's not going to grow if there is just one specific group dominating this kind of field. So I wouldn't say that it's nice that we have women here. I would say that it's necessary for this space to actually grow and develop in the way that we all want, because we all want change here. We want to grow something new, something built on new values. And without inclusivity, we're not going to achieve this. We're just going to repeat the history.
Well said. Well said. Maybe for now, for in between, good to have you all on stage. I want to encourage the audience to ask questions, right? So now we have all of them here, and now is the time to ask questions. Just post them in the chat or directly in our question field. While that is happening, maybe Maria and Marta, you can let us in on what excited you about the HANDIEU / Artemi topic and Agnieszka's project. What caught you?
So for me, I definitely am up for building kind of a new reality within the space that we have been created together for a while. We met with Agnieszka really not that long ago, by coincidence, if there are any, through Carolina, who's already been working with Aga. And immediately after I heard what Aga wants to create, I realized that it's something that I would like to be a part of. I myself, I am a craft maker. I knit everywhere I go, anywhere I can, on the flight, whenever I travel, or it's something that I do for relaxation. And I know how much effort is put in anything that is handmade and created in craft community. So I realized also how massive the change is going to be, and we are kind of a part of it, and I also want to participate in it. I'm also very entrepreneurial, so building something from scratch, it's what I've been doing for the last 10 years, really. And I think blockchain, I'm certain that blockchain is the future, and creating something that has value not only in the virtual world, but also in actual reality and supports communities is something that really speaks to my heart personally, and I'm very happy to be part of this project.
Thanks for sharing, Maria. On the other hand, Marta, what is it what's the HANDIEU and Aga spark in you?
Yes, so for me, I would say it's the outcome of me setting some certain goals for me for this year. For me, the goal for this year was to surround myself around people who share similar values as mine. And the other one was that I also want to get back to also drawing, because since I was a little kid, the only way to keep me quiet, I'm a very talkative person, the only way to keep me quiet was to give me a piece of paper and some paint, and I would just be quiet for hours. And I really wanted to come back to this hobby. However, I didn't know how. I was already busy with blockchain. And literally just a few days after the new year started, I had a call with Aga because you invited her to our project, and we just wanted to get to know each other. It ended up being a 2 hours long talk, and I can just say that I connected with Aga on any kind of level. We talk about everything, and it's just one of those people that I want to have in my life. And the more I actually started hearing about this project and getting in depth about what it means, I have realized that this is the right path for me.
Mhm.
And I also really like what Lars said once, that if, for example, one project doesn't work out, would you still want to build something more with this person? And I consider Aga such person. So for me, this project is just the beginning of something that I can see that is going to last for years. And I'm just very happy that it's just a fulfillment of the goals that I have set for myself for this year.
Thank
That's
you.
lovely.
What a
Wow.
beautiful endorsement of this team and of Aga. That's sounds like a great place to start. So anyone who is also listening right now and inclined to participate, contribute in any way in this newly upcoming DAO, then please, I guess, connect with Aga. We posted her profile via LinkedIn or via the website, and get a glimpse into this wonderful team, it appears.
Yes, and we are more. It was a pity that I cannot invite more of them today. It's, each of us is different, it's unique, and we complement each other. That's the beauty here. How much more we can build by joining our forces together. And that's why I encourage everyone to cooperate instead of looking at everyone as a competition. It's so much greater, and we can achieve so much more. And this synergy effect comes also from it. We learn from each other. It's just
That's
amazing.
very lovely. As also an audience right now, from audience perspective, I do have a question. Maybe I will also encourage audiences to ask if they have any. But regarding actually, we talked about handcrafts, we talked about creativity, we talked about uplifting each other. Is there any workshops or like online or like something, because of the current times, of course, but like, is there a possibility or in the future or now to, like the community that would come together as, let's say, create something together collectively?
You mean to create handcrafts?
So for example, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
With
what we are.
for example, with women, or like welcome to everyone, not just of course women limited, but still like a little bit coming together to like create collectively as a workshop kind of things, as HANDIEU, and in the future Artemi platform.
Exactly, that's what we are doing for the moment. We have some small group of creators, and we prepare our collective collection that would be launched soon. And as I told you, it would be a connection between this metaverse and physical worlds. And yeah, so we, from one side, we create, and from the other, we educate, which is a lot of, I think, fun and also inspiration for them to join this new topic. In the same time, they get inspirations to create something from what they learned. But here maybe Marta can also say something more, because she's also like she was on a couple of our meetings with the community to.
I mean, I think it's just the start, and I think that now we have this process where we see what is exactly that they need. Is it more education in the area of blockchain, and what is exactly there that they feel like they're missing? However, we have also noticed that if you want to create a DAO, implementing, or maybe I would say rather presenting the right mindset and helping people with understanding where is it going to, is as important as education about the technologies that are available there. People need to believe that what we are doing is actually going to lead them to what we promise is the goal. Therefore, for now, we have those group meetings once a week, we meet with this Polish group because we have quite a big group of Polish handcrafters. However, we also have English-speaking group, and on a weekly basis, we meet with them. We make sure that their thought and their creative process is going in the right direction, and we just want to make sure that they feel comfortable with us, and we also gain experience knowing, okay, this is maybe the area that is missing somewhere.
Mhm.
And there's also a long-term goal that we actually prepare a proper course for the
Mhm.
new people coming in, and we will fully learn and get prepared for this blockchain world mixed with the handcraft world. So
So it's
for
open.
now,
Mhm. It's
Yeah,
open
Yeah,
to
we
basically
will-
all.
it's like our
everyone.
testing phase where we also get their feedback and how we should prepare it, because as I told you, it's a market adaptation, totally different one, and we want to know how to implement it well. On the other side, like not to limit them, also inspire in a sense that they can use it some other way in their crafts.
Great.
Yeah.
Just as we before I forget, as we come to close to an end, right? We've been talking for time is flying, but I definitely want you to get out to the community and to the listeners now, and to the ones that will be seeing the crowdcast afterwards. What is your challenges right now? Where do where can somebody who's listening connect with HANDIEU, where it's kind of an area where you would need support, want support? Anything you want to put out there?
What are the challenges right now? I mean, now we actually started our marketing agency, that is focusing on similar projects that also approach maybe market adaptation, or they're looking for the balance in their projects, that want to change the world in some sense, really serve people. Or they are run also by women. We would love to support more women as well, like Jackie is doing, for example, with Rachel in Rolla, or some projects like Tyler is doing with Reorg. We are definitely with them. And the challenges are maybe related to putting the pieces together, as I told you.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe also if Maria or Marta, you have something from your view and angle
Maria,
on
maybe.
On the project.
I would say how I see that is that, for example, the challenge right now, because we have this approach that we want people to firstly experience what's the situation in our group, how we work, what is available there. So for now, I think that now we're in this process of experiencing. I give our team, our marketing team, the space to experience what they like the most, what's the area of what they find interesting. However, on the other hand, of course, it also slows down a bit, for example, for us, the ability to go live on the social media. However, I treat it as a part of a necessary process for people to actually do what they want, to find a way and find the area that they want to educate themselves in. But definitely it is something that slows us down, but this is what we have decided. I don't believe that you can have a good long-term business when you kind of push onto people tasks that they necessarily are not sure if this is something that they find interesting. So this is, for example, what I have been experiencing with my team so far, that they have now this space of experiencing what they like, but of course it can also get confusing, and for some people, also a bit tiring, right? Because it's sometimes easier if you just have everything ready.
Thanks for your view. Maybe Maria, anything from your view?
Yeah, from my perspective, I feel that we're kind of as a whole community in a wild west, where everything is still being developed, and there's not much of protocols and regulations that would enable us to follow specific coordinates of cooperation. We also have very strong values within the team about how we want to work and how we want to cooperate. And what I think we struggle with currently is that we are very transparent about how we want to do business, and communication from our perspective is very important, that we are clear about what we want to create together with the clients that we get in touch with. And it often ends up at the stage where we hear that people would like to cooperate with us, but not with the conditions that would secure our business as well, which is hard in a way, because what we want to do is to create a space that would have that would be secure also for the team, for the employees, and do it in a sustainable way, not with much of risk putting on the team that we want to create. And we kind of want to create this environment of care, and that would be sustainable not only for us, but first of all for the clients that we have. And what the strategies that we propose are usually with a long-term gain, not just short-term risk that creates a possibility of big gains, but also carries a lot of risk. So that change in perspective is something that is a challenge now, and it's something that we want to create through the marketing communication that we offer to our clients as well.
Yeah, I actually like that what you brought here. Yes, that we face the challenge of now explaining that it's not about the short-term gain into this sphere or the projects, that it's not about earning money here and now, some millions and escape, but it's about building the long-term vision of the project.
We have very long-term perspective on what we are doing, what we're starting right now. And most of the people that we get in touch with currently, they just focus on how the markets would usually work in the past, because they want to trade, they want to get results quickly. And that's not the game we play generally.
Yeah. Although that's fine. I mean, it's I very much am in line with that. Also with whatever I'm building, we're also about long-term, very close relationships that last for a long time. No matter who, if it's clients or partners. So I get kind of the ideology, but at the same time, if we focus on that, to have in this very beginning that you're at, having this certain stability and security, it goes a little bit against, because it could more focus on gains now or profit now, which would give more stability in the beginning, but it's at the expense of something more substantial. So
sure,
I get the dilemma, absolutely, and it's
about the balance. You have
anyone's choice, any creator's choice how to deal with it. Yeah, I wish you all the best with it.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot.
Balance again.
Balance again, as we talked and mentioned in the beginning. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about handcrafts, we talked about combining and the balance and inspiration, women more, the new projects and ideas, and we came to an end of our crowdcast. Aga, thank you so much for joining us. Maria, thank you so much for joining us. Marta, thank you so much for joining us and discuss with us the insights, the inspirations, and the projects. For everyone again who's watching now and then will watch later, HANDIEU Artemi is for everyone who wants to create together, right? So if anyone wants to get involved with the projects and get to know the team, we share the links in the chat below. So check those out. They are a lovely team, definitely a different, inspirational, so much positiveness. Right, so, and of course you can always jump on our Discord channel, which we shared in the link below. Right, guys, so share the ideas and everything. Perfect, that has been a great Wednesday crowdcast for me, and I think for all of us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
a lot for taking the time.
It was great.
Thank you.
See you soon, guys.
See you.